I would like you to join me in Fantasyland. In Fantasyland, Uber and Lyft and DoorDash and Grubhub care about us. They care about the well-being of their drivers, right? We all work together to provide great service for our customers, and we get paid fairly, and we're treated with respect. That is Fantasyland, and when I first started driving, that's kind of how I felt, right? Especially with Lyft in the beginning, they seemed like they really cared about the drivers. Lyft recently has broken my heart by not offering me any bonuses for the last 2 months. And there's all kinds of things going on in New York, right? Because they're trying to get a minimum wage. So if you think these companies are your friends, you're mistaken. You're living in Fantasyland. So in this video, I'm going to share with you the 5 reasons why they are not our friends. I'm going to give you an overview of what's going on in New York. And stick around at the very end. I'll share with you the one thing you can always do to just keep everything in perspective in this very adversarial relationship between you and me, the drivers, and the rideshare and the food delivery companies. So all that and more coming up. Hey everybody, it's Jay Crater with the RideShare Guy, drinking a little Nespresso from my Bluebird Cafe in Iowa City, Iowa. Had the best blueberry pancakes I ever had. My daughter and I each got a mug, and that's it. So, good memories. So, by way of background, what's the situation in New York? Every time I go onto my Google feed, my news feed, I'm getting all kinds of information about New York and lawsuits and new laws and all of that. So here you see from the Hill, Uber, DoorDash, Grubhub sue over New York City's $18 per hour rule. So what's this all about? So I grabbed this from the Hill. DoorDash and Grubhub argued in a joint suit that the ill-conceived rule would have drastic and immediate consequences. At the same time, Uber warned in a separate lawsuit that the city's grand marketplace experiment risks crushing restaurants and the increasingly important food delivery market. The rule announced by New York City Mayor Eric Adams and New York City Department of Consumer and Worker Protections last month requires food delivery companies to pay their couriers, us, you and me, drivers, $18 per hour starting July 12th. That's would increase to $19 an hour in April of 2024 and nearly $20 in April of 2025. So that's the situation. So do you get it? This is in New York City. So this is about drivers making at least $18 an hour in New York City. I mean, I'm a driver in Sacramento making at least $30 an hour, and this is a little small podunk town compared to New York City where prices are way more expensive. And yet, Uber and DoorDash and Grubhub are filing a lawsuit to stop their drivers from making just $18 an hour. So that says a lot about the kind of relationship that exists between those companies and us, the drivers. So why is this relationship so fierce and so adversarial? Well, let's get into that right now. So number one is we're all classified as independent contractors, right? So we're not employees. We're not unionized. We can't kind of band together. Uber and Lyft and DoorDash and Grubhub, they can kind of determine exactly how we're getting paid. They keep, there's just a lot of benefits that they have that we don't have by being independent contractors. And they don't want us to become employees, and they're doing everything they can to have us not be employees so that they can have more control over us. Number two, fluctuating compensation models. Oh my gosh. So, when I started, we got 80% of whatever the passenger paid. Then it went to time and distance, so we knew exactly how much we were going to get paid. Now it's this upfront black box algorithmic pricing model, and we don't have any idea what we're getting paid in terms of time and distance because they're incorporating they're not incorporating how long it takes to go pick them up. So we have to do our own calculations now, and And who knows what it's going to be next year? I mean, really, who knows? So that's been a huge point of contention, is how the way we get paid, which for an independent contractor, we should legally be able to say, this is how much we should get paid for our job. Think of a plumber. A plumber is an independent contractor. They go into a house, they look at the job, they say, here's how much it's going to cost, and you pay it, right? Or you don't. You decide you don't want to do it. But as drivers, we can't set the price, even though we are independent contractors. So that's the rub. 3, limited transparency. As I just covered, this dovetails perfectly into this topic. We don't know exactly how we're getting paid. I was told by a reliable source that there's like at least 50 different factors that go into determining how much you're getting paid versus how much I'm getting paid. We're all getting paid different based on our driving histories. And we don't know, right? It's all happening. That's why it's called the black box, because we don't know exactly what's going in. We know what's coming out, but we don't know how it's all being calculated. Number 4, lack of driver input. So I've done almost 30,000 rides, and I've never been asked for my opinion about anything by Uber and Lyft. They ask for feedback, like, how's your driving experience, right? And I always put, medium to less than medium, and that's it. They don't ask for me how it could be improved or anything like that. So we're not really partners with them. They kind of do what they're going to do, and we are sort of left to deal with it, which engenders a lot of frustration on the part of drivers. And 5, finally, is erosion of workers' rights. So all of what I've been sharing kind of says that, right? We are workers and we don't have any real power other than we can get into the car, play by their rules, and make what we can make in the amount of time that we want to commit to working. But in terms of how we're paid, here in New York, where they're trying to actually make laws so that the drivers are getting paid fairly, because you understand, if the government didn't step in, people would be working for $12 an hour, right? They must have a lot of workers so that, the people who will work for the least amount of money are the ones who will keep working. And it just brings the value of the product down. And that's why a law like what they're trying to pass there goes into effect, so that the standard at least stays at the minimum of $18 an hour. So the rights, our worker rights, just keep getting whittled down. What's the word I'm thinking of? Homogenized. What's it called when you see something and you pour something else in it and it just kind of mixes it all up? Homogenized, that's the only word I can think of. So, erosion of workers' rights. So there's 5 reasons why these companies are not your friend. And if you think they're your friend, you're going to be taken advantage of. So you have to have this adversarial mindset when you approach working for these companies, because that's how they're looking at you. So what are the key takeaways? It's us versus them. The only thing, this is the key mindset trick, is that you just got to let it all go. You just got to let all that I just shared with you go. Just realize that it's an adversarial relationship and you're going to have to play by their rules, and that's it. That's handled. There's nothing to do about that. So, given that it's their rules, how can I work within those rules to make as much money as I can in the shortest amount of time? That's where you need to put your energy, all right? So don't expect anything to improve from them. That's what this video is about, right? It's an adversarial relationship, and they're going to do everything they can to pay you as little as possible. So given that that's that, then all you need to do, and this is the trick, is just focus on what you can do with the tools that you have to make as much money as possible. And that's really the key takeaway here. Just understand the situation that you're in, all right? They're not your friends. They are not your friends. As much as you and I would like that to be the case, that's not the case. It took me a while to really get that, but I was just reminded of it these last 2 months, where Lyft has suddenly decided I'm not worthy of getting any bonuses, and that doesn't feel very good. So I got to put that off to the side and say, okay, what can I get? Who is offering me bonuses? Where can I put my energy? And that's the bottom line. That's the key takeaway. So I want to say thanks for watching. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. This is Jay Crater with the RideShare Guy. I'm going to have another sip of my Nespresso. Go out and tell somebody you love them. Have a great day. Take care of yourself. Be safe out there. I'll see you next time.